Hi, welcome to Alta My Closet. I'm Jennifer. How are you guys doing today? Well, in my last video, I went through quite a bit showing how you can dress up or dress down a jumper with some different tops, So I hope you all liked that video. And if you do, please comment, subscribe to my channel, and let me know that, I'm working it. I love fashion. I wanted to be a fashion designer growing up, and I know it may sound cliche, you know, when we say, oh, I wanted to be. In my own rights, I believe I am. I have been making clothing since, a teenager. Um, so even though I didn't blow up and go into the whole fashion designing piece, I still did my part. I, sue for myself, I sue for my brothers, sue for friends. And my daughter said not to say sue, but I think it's spelled SEW, and that's why I pronounce it that way. So I'm kind of conscious about it now. But so, but I think sue is a past tense. If I'm wrong or right, you guys correct me in the comments. But yeah, so I believe my brothers can attest to that, and I believe my brothers are proud of me. I have no sisters, I have all brothers, and unfortunately, one passed, and I'm still here with the rest of my brothers who I adore and admire. And like I said, I believe they would be proud of me because I used to dress them as well. When I made clothes to myself, I made for them as well. There was, during like Christmas time when we used to buy that velvet fabric. And back then, Michael Jackson was the in thing with, the clothing with the studs on there. So I remember we would design our own clothing and make our own clothing and wear them out. And, we were just the most fashionable set of young people you could find back then. So yeah, I hope you're liking my channel so far because it's coming with a mixture of things, and anything that comes to my mind, that I can share, and it ties into the whole closet alteration. I'm going to try to present that. And um, I'm not feeling discouraged. I know there are not a lot of comments. There are not, a lot of subscribers yet. But I do believe in my heart that the channel will grow, and it's growing for a purpose because I believe there are things that I have that I can share with others. And I know there are a lot of channels out there, like I've said before, but everybody have their own, way and glitch of doing things that people may admire and like. So in my last video, I did put this necklace and earring set together in an outfit that I pieced with this kind of orangey color. It was a cover up. But today I'm wearing a cold shoulder, and I believe cold shoulders are kind of out of style now, guys, but you wear what you like. I think Target have a brand that says, I think it says wear what you want or something like that. But yeah, so it's a nice sunny day, and I have decided to wear this orangey color, and along with a pants that I made and showed on one of my previous videos. So let me show you what it looks like. So of course, guys, this top is matching with this color here, piece right there that I picked it up from. So this pants can be worn with like a blue, or purple or a beige top, so you get the idea. And I've just matched it, like I said, with this accessory here for the orangey effect. And my shoes are kind of beige to offset the beige in the jewelry. All right, so comment and let me know if you like this look and my pants that I made. My pants only have one pocket because this is the one that I had mentioned. I had ran out of this fabric here, and so I just used something that kind of matches, which is this fabric here. I used that to finish up and give a pocket to that look. Tricks to the trade, guys. Tricks to the trade is what you call it. So we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna show you how to make a jumper that I wore in my previous video, how to make that without using a zipper or buttons. So stay tuned. Okay, so my recommendation for making a jumper without any zippers or buttons, like the one that you saw in that other video that I had, the black with the gray stripe. What I recommend is a stretchy fabric. You know, you want something that, you know, this doesn't have any stretch to it, right? This is more like kind of like a rayon type thing. So what you'd want is a stretchy feel fabric, preferably something that's a little, you know, thicker, not thin, that you can see through, right? You're gonna wanna cut it, I'd say inches bigger than your actual measurements, right? And I would recommend the bottom part of the jumper looking baggy type, kind of like what you saw I was wearing. And you can use just about any design you like, you know, plain, floral, stripe, you know, whatever you desire. But my experience was favorable because of, you know, using those type you know, fabric qualities. So I had the stretchy fabric. It was not too thin, not too thick and heavy either. And you know, the cut was also good. When I cut the fabric, it didn't roll up. So that's another thing you'd probably want to look for. Fabrics that doesn't roll after cutting it, right? And then when you cut your pants, you want to make sure that the bottom on the behind part is a little bit longer than the front. And so I'll show you just pretty much how it's cut. So this is the fabric I use, and this looks a little bit thin, but it's really not. It's a little heavy. So look at the stretch here, right? Okay. Then when you have your whole piece of fabric together, you want to fold your fabric. And I'm going to try to move the camera so it can be face down. So I'm just showing you this actual finished jumper, but you will still see the way it's cut in order to stitch it. So you're going to have, you know, 4 pieces of fabric that's separate, but it's going to be cut like this. It's going to be, you know, you're going to sit it like this. So imagine the full length of it here, right? I'm going to pull it up a little bit. The back part is going to be cut with this point here, because this is your crotch. So you're going to cut with your scissors. I went blank for a moment, guys. You're going to cut with your scissors, curve this, give this a little more length in the back, right? Give this a little more length and give yourself room enough. After sewing it together, you still have room, you know, big enough to fit you comfortably. All right, so you're gonna cut it this way, go all the way up to the neck. Okay, and so you're cutting the length of your pants from the leg all the way up with the curve coming up and up to the neck. Okay, when you get to the neck, you're going to, with your fabric doubled in 4, you're going to cut the neck with a scoop, right? And that will be your shoulder. Then depending on how deep you want this part here, which is your armpit, depending on how deep you want it, you can cut it in deeper, or you can cut it to make your shoulders, the shoulder here, a little bit wider. Okay, so you can always play around with your armpit. You can cut it in deeper, or you can cut it straight, you know, and then play around if you want a broader shoulder here, right? Or if you want a narrower, a narrower shoulder to where it looks more like a spaghetti strap. Okay, so comment and tell me if you're understanding what I'm saying. And so this would be the opposite side of your crotch on this side here. Right, so this is your crotch, where I was saying you need to cut this curved, and this is the straight side that's going to be on your outer part here, right? If you want a narrow leg or foot to your pants, you can play around with that too, and you can cut it deeper. So right now we're looking at the crotch in the back, right? And you can cut it at an angle and cut it in deeper. Sorry, because I'm using you know, this device here. It's not a camera, right? But you can play around with your jumper leg, if you want it to be a straight leg, or if you want it to be a wide leg. So you see where my finger is? Let's pretend that your fabric is right there. If you want to cut a wide leg, you just keep your scissor straight like that. If you want a straight leg, you would, you know, bring your scissor in, right? Cutting it and give it a smaller leg, tapered in to make it a narrower leg. I'm having a problem with the word narrower. Okay, and then guys, on your other your next step would be to, where you cut the back, you're gonna remove 2 pieces of the garment, right? And then you're going to cut your front part of your your jumper a little, give it a little bit of curve, more curve than how the back is. Okay, so when you cut this in the front, it's gonna be a little more curved than how the back part would be cut. So you don't mess with the back part, but you want to give the front part a little more curve, so that when you put it on, the front part of your jumper, hold on, when you put it on, the front part of your jumper is not going to gap in the front, you know? It's going to sit properly in the crotch area, right? And then I will show another video on how to install pockets, but it's not really difficult at all. Technically, what I did was I cut my arms of my jumper a little bit deeper, so it was like a little bit above the waist. And what I did was to measure it. I put it on, kind of see where my hand was as far as where I should place the pocket, right? And so I measured that. I think this was about maybe 3 inches down from where I cut the armpit, right? When you're installing your pockets, you want to make sure that your sides are even. If you're putting in two pockets on either side, you want to make sure you have the same length from your armpit, or where you cut your arm length of the jumper. You want to make sure you measure that so it stops at the same place. And so when you're installing your pockets, they're gonna be the same length, right? They're not gonna be one too high, one too low. And you can always put little notches with your scissors or marks with your chalk just to make sure you have the right measurement. Okay, so yes, like I said, I'll show you another video on how to install your pockets. So what I didn't have enough fabric, so I just put one pocket in. Yeah, and so I'll work with that. I was considering using a black piece and just put another pocket in, but I'll see. You know me and the tacky look. I try not to be too tacky. So, okay, the next thing that I did was my shoulders were a little bit broad, but I rather have more fabric to work with than less, because if you cut away too much, you can't get it back. If you cut away a little bit, then you can play around with it. So my shoulders were a little bit broad, so what I did was to just give a little style. I found a little piece of this cord here sitting around somewhere, and I just tied a little knot on the top just to give it a little style. So that's how I have it. So that's an idea you can do, or you can cut your shoulders, the straps on your shoulders, to where you want it. It can be, like I say, spaghetti strap, or it can be a wide shoulder, covering your shoulders to here, or it can be an all-in-one type thing, covering your arms down to here. It just depends on how you want to play around with it. So like I said, guys, this is an easy wear. As you can see in the back, it has a little more room than the front here, if you can see the difference. So right, so the front is kind of sitting flat, and in the back has a little more curve where it can cover your bumsy. But this is an easy wear. I pretty much, and when you scoop the neck of your jumper, you want to scoop it wide enough so that you have enough room to put it on from the foot up. Okay, if that makes sense. So and as you can see, the arms from the shoulders down to where my armpit stops, it's pretty much below my armpit. Going past here, it stops about here. That's where I stop my cutout. Okay, and the cutout just gives you room to play with if you're wearing like a batwing blouse, right? Or whatever kind of blouse. You can wear a tank top under this, stuff like that. So yeah, quick, easy for most, I believe, comfortable, easy wear, I should say, right? And that's pretty much the length of my jumper. So if you have any questions on it, just, message me in the comment and let me know. And, you know, can go from there. This is another pants that I made, and I was considering wearing this with this top here. So this was easy too, elastic waist, no pockets, but I love the the animal print. Okay, so this is another pant that I made, and yeah, I'm just trying to get comfy, guys. There's some things you buy in the store sometimes, and you find fault with them. So you can buy what you want and make it the way you want it, right? So I hope that helped, and I will look forward to your comments. Okay, please like my video, share, and become a subscriber. Okay, I'm looking to grow my channel and hopefully do more, with, learning what I showing and teaching what I know. All right. Okay, well, thank you. That was my daughter calling. There in the background, you heard that phone ringing, but I didn't have my phone with me, so. All right, guys. See you next time. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.